Okay. Alrighty. Look, first of all, I gotta start off by saying I'm a big fan. I've seen
Thank
your
you.
videos go viral several times, and I was like, who is this girl balling like this? And so when I was like, when I created my show, Winning Her Way, I was like, I gotta get her on here. Definitely before you go off to college, because by then you ain't gonna want to talk to me. So I was like, let me grab her right now, right? So I guess we can kind of start up. First of all, let me ask you this question too, because
Mhm.
I listen to different interviews and I hear people pronounce your name two different
Mhm.
ways. So is it Kiyomi or Kayomi?
It's Kiyomi.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kiyomi. All right. Got it. Kiyomi. All right. So Kiyomi, let's kind of hop into it. Because I know you're busy. You know, you got a lot going on. So first question that I think everybody wants to know is how did you get into basketball? Like where did that passion come from?
So it came from my parents. I actually grew up around it. I've been around it like my whole life, and they've been coaching before I was even born. So it's like as
Wow.
soon as I was born, I was kind of like just already in the gym, and it just like I just saw how they felt about it, and then I just started to love it like myself. So
Mm. So so I'm assuming your parents were also kind of coaching you throughout the entire process, all the way up until I'm sure when you first started playing, probably even now,
yeah.
even though you're about to go you're about to go to college. I understand, but it makes perfect sense. So with, what were some of the key factors that influenced your decision to go to Rutgers?
Um.
Because I know you had probably a lot of people coming at you, but like what was that key factor that was like, this is it for me?
The biggest thing was the conference. Like, I really think that next year the Big Ten will be the best conference, and it's just there's gonna be competition every night, and there's gonna be big names, and that I'll be able to play every night too.
Okay, so do you think playing at Life Center Academy kind of prepared you for this next level of playing in college?
Uh, I think so, just because we are an independent school, so we get to play like whoever we want.
Right.
So it's like different It's competition every night too, because we get to play whoever we want.
Okay, okay. So you're gonna be with a new team,
Mhm.
right? So what are you looking most forward to with this new team? Like, what are you like most excited about, when it comes to just the bonding and of course like you gotta learn the culture and everything like that. But what is like making you super excited about your new teammates?
So really, just like the personality of the whole team. Cause I've already been around them a lot. I actually played against Destiny Adams, Antonia Bates, and Kayleen Smichael when they were all in high
Oh,
school. Like
wow.
I played Destiny when I was, I think, in ninth grade, and then Destiny and Kayleen in ninth grade, and then in my 10th grade year, I played Kayleen and Antonia. And it's like when I
Wow.
went to go and visit, I was like, oh, they're all on the
Right.
team. Like, that's cool.
So
Okay. Yeah.
so then that probably makes it a little bit easier then because you already have that bond. Like you kind of already know how they play and everything like that. So that's
Yeah.
probably gonna make it even more comfortable for you when you get there. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool. That don't happen a lot.
No.
So that's dope.
No.
Okay, cool. So who are some of your role models? Because I know I was a big fan of like Iverson and Jordan and people like that.
Hmm.
But who have been your biggest role models?
Um, I'll definitely say like Michael Jordan. Obviously, he's
Obviously.
one of the best.
Obviously.
But then I would say Dr. J,
Okay.
Dr. J, KD, Kyrie Irving. And then someone that's not in basketball, Bianca Belair. I've talked about her before, like one other time,
Wow.
but she's also like I just like that she said she calls herself the EST, like the best,
Mm,
and that's how I
yeah.
see myself as well.
I love that. Okay, confidence. All right. So throughout your high school career, what have been some of the biggest challenges you faced, and how has that kind of contributed to your growth as a player?
Mm, I would say some of the biggest challenges would be people like I guess you could say like how they say how I play, like the cockiness, like trying to show like I'm not the same person that I am on the court as I am off the court. Like they
Mm,
try to say that like I'm like super cocky or like super like mean, but really that's not me like at all. Like it's two different people. Like look like I'm like this type of way because I'm competing, like I want to win. But off
Yeah.
the court, like I'm a cool person to hang out with, you know?
You know, it's very interesting you say that because I feel like as female athletes, when you're really good and you're really confident, people might take that as like, oh, she thinks she's better than everybody or she might be this or that. But really, it's
Yeah.
just like you have to be that way to be great, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be confident. Confidence is a big part of getting to the next level, definitely being
Mm-hmm.
successful. So don't let nobody tell you that because you're
Yeah,
great.
like
So that I
I'm
mean that
out there competing. Like I'm not. I'm trying to.
you
I'm
can't be
like look like
shy.
I'm doing everything. Yeah, like I'm trying to dominate out here. Like what's
Keep
the
look,
problem with that?
keep that up, keep that attitude. Don't change that. Matter of fact, go up a level. Definitely when you get to Rutgers, because I'm gonna be cheering for you. So I'm excited. All right. So what are some of your I guess your goals for yourself? What goals are you setting for yourself when you get to Rutgers?
um, I want to try to get 1,000 points each year. That was one of the goals I actually
Wow.
been trying to get.
Okay.
It's gonna be tough, but I'm gonna try.
You got
Uh,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
um, but yeah, that's like one. I'll say that's one of my goals that I'm trying to get. But obviously, also like to win the championship every year and to win like anything I could possibly win.
Okay. So, do you have any, I guess, nervousness about being able to balance being an athlete and being a student?
No,
Not at all.
not at
Okay.
all. No.
Okay. That's actually okay. That's a great thing because I know when I went to college, that was one of the things that I was like, man, how am I gonna go to track practice? And then I gotta go to study hall, then I gotta do this. But the fact that you're going in and like, no, I'm good. I got it. That's great. That's
I think
great.
guys has helped me out with that a lot too, like just like scheduling everything and like balancing everything by myself because they kind of like treat me that way anyway,
True.
and it's like they'll show me like, okay, this is like you have to go to practice at this time, so you need to get your stuff like school stuff done in between the times where you have practice,
True.
and like everything else you have to do like my mom, she got me what's it called, a planner, so then it's like
Ah.
lay out everything
Oh,
because that's what she does, and
okay,
it's like
kudos
it
to
works,
mom.
you know.
Shout out to mom. That's important. I love that. Well, just from an OG perspective, because I graduated college in 2014, so I'm getting up there in age. But just make sure that you're also taking care of you.
Hmm.
You're making time for yourself to relax and just be you outside of the court and out in the classroom. So just make sure you schedule in some time to do things that you like. That has nothing to do with sports and school because that's going to play a big role, right? So, but you got it. I already know. But okay, kind of speaking of that though, and balance and things like that. What were I guess what moment? What was your most I guess proud moment of playing in high school? Like, what was a moment where you're like, man, whenever I get older and I have kids, I'm gonna tell them about this moment.
Ooh, okay. Let me
I know
see.
you probably got a lot.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, like the biggest thing is like I'm the first high school Jordan Brand athlete, and that happened. That dang, that was like 2 years ago. That's crazy.
Right.
I was like, freaking. But
Yeah.
that was the biggest thing. I remember it because it was like my family, like me, my mom, my dad, my siblings, we knew, but really no one else knew. So it was like for a while we were kind of just sitting there like we know, but we can't tell
Yeah.
nobody. So like
Bursting
that
with
was like
excitement.
yeah, that was like oh, we just gotta keep it inside. But that was I think that would be like the biggest thing where that was
Yeah.
history and that would like be
Yeah.
around forever. So that would be something I would be able to talk about.
So take me back to that moment when you first got the call. Like, yo, you're about to get this crazy deal. Like, what were you thinking? Like, what was the emotions that were running through your body at that time? Because that's huge.
I really I couldn't believe it. Like I showed my because I'm just like because his daughter she's the one that reached out to me
Mhm.
and I I was just like in my head I'm like there's like no way that's like this is real, so I went and like showed them and they looked at it. My dad was like yeah this is like a real thing.
Legit.
Yeah, so it was just like excitement, happiness, like kind of like shocked. It was like all types of emotions.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm assuming, like, I mean, not I'm assuming, I know, like life changed.
Yeah.
Like once
Yeah.
that got out and it went public and press release and everything, how were you like how were you able to kind of still balance being you, right? And then
Mm.
also having this newfound like fame and everything like that. How were you able to balance that?
Really, I think I've done a good job just focusing on just going out there and playing, because I've honestly, I've had a lot of people that have helped me through this whole process of college and the NIL deal, and really they make sure like I'm balanced as well, and they'll just control like all the off court stuff while I can just go out there and I can just play.
That's important. That's extremely important. And speaking of NIL, so you kind of told me about how you approach the NIL, which is you really don't even touch it. You have a whole team, which I think is very important so that you can just be the athlete. Because I know nowadays it's such a big controversial thing with NIL and like, oh, athletes are losing focus and athletes aren't even focused on the game anymore. So with all, and I know you have probably a lot of NILs coming your way. I mean, I already know it's going to be a lot more. How do you envision building your personal brand in college? Because obviously it's going to shift a little bit from high school to college. So like what do you want your brand to be known as?
Um, well, I want to be known as the best of all time. So really, just greatness. That's pretty much what I want my brand to be known as.
Okay. Okay. And do you have like when you're let's just say, when you've been playing for 20, 30 years, right? What
Hmm.
what will be the next step for you? Like what do you want to do after sports?
Oh, I want to be a sports broadcaster or an analyst.
Ah,
I want to like one of those like commentator people. I think that would be pretty cool. Uh,
yeah.
I don't know. I just know for sure that I want to do something within sports, and like going and talking about basketball, like that's something that would be easy for me to do. And it's like I'm around basketball all the time, so like why not, you know?
Right. You'll be perfect, right? Definitely when you become the greatest of all time, you're gonna be able to talk to anybody you want to talk to, right?
Yeah.
So so what advice would you give to the little athletes that are looking up to you right now saying, I want to be just like her? Like what
Hmm.
advice would you give them?
Just work hard and try and stand out as much as you can. Like you don't want to just fall in line with everybody else, because then how are you going to become great if you're just doing the same thing that everybody else is
Right.
doing? You need to find something different and perfect that, and that will lead to doing other great things.
I love that. I love that. And where do you see your career going long term? With you trying to is it WNBA in the horizon for you?
Uh,
Okay.
definitely. Like I definitely want to play as long as I can. So,
Okay, do you have a certain team, like a dream team that you would love to play on?
mm, no, not really. I mean,
Okay.
I always, I always wanted to go back home. Come from Maryland, in Silver Spring, Maryland. Uh, and that would be pretty cool if I went back home and played for the Mystics. So,
Mm. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna be looking for you. All right. So look, we're gonna have a little fun. All right. I have a little segment, and it's called this or that. So
okay,
I'm gonna throw two things out there, and without thinking, just pick which one kind of resonates with you.
okay,
Okay. All right. Ready?
yeah,
Michael Jordan or Iverson?
Michael Jordan,
Okay. Apple or oranges?
apples.
Gatorade or Powerade?
Oh, Gatorade. That's not even a question. This is Gatorade.
Facts. Facts. Okay. Pink or red?
I'm gonna go with pink.
Beach or mountains?
The beach.
Okay. Okay. All right. Last one. WNBA or NBA?
Mm, ooh,
I
that's
don't know, right? That's gonna make you
tough.
think a little bit.
Uh, I'm gonna say the NBA.
Okay. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, look, I appreciate your time. I know we had some technical difficulties, but I'm glad I got you on here. I appreciate you for taking time out of your busy schedule. And look, I'm looking forward to seeing you in college. So just know you got a fan. And once you have your first season, I'm gonna have to get you back on here so we can have another conversation about how it went. But look, I've been a fan of you since I saw you go viral. I was like, man, she's gonna be a problem. So continue to stay focused, continue to be you. Don't let nobody tell you that, oh, you're this, you're that because of you're confident, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like women athletes deserve to be confident and it should be accepted. So keep being you. You got a fan for life. And thank you again. I appreciate you.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, have a good one.
You too.